Okay, 3 things before we go ahead and jump into today's weekly bite of MMORPG news. Number 1, we're giving away a copy of any MMORPG you want. All you need to do to participate, to win a copy, is to be actively subscribed to this channel. Then go down into the comment section below and tell me what MMO you want and why you want it. It is that simple, and the winner from the last video will be selected tonight over on Twitter. Number 2, MRSSTIX and I are going to be streaming live over on Twitch at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. That is 2 hours from the time this video goes live. If you would love to keep us company there and you're bored, maybe looking for something to watch, we would love to have you. And finally, number 3, huge shout out to our incredible patrons. You guys are amazing, and your support goes a large ways to helping us continue to do what we love: create videos on YouTube and stream over on Twitch. Now, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into this week's weekly bite of MMORPG news. Let's start this off with Lost Ark. Last week, Amazon revealed their roadmap for June and July, and players are excited. Kinda. In June, we'll see the introduction of both the normal and hard difficulty modes for the Vicus Legion raid, the Congolanium Guardian raid, Throne Spire single player dungeon, new cosmetic items because hey, they need money. Then in July, they'll be introducing the new Arcanist Advanced Mage class. This is the class that I played back in the Russian version over a year ago, so it's about damn time, along with the Inferno difficulty mode for the Vulcan Legion raid and the Challenge Abyssal dungeons. Whew, players have a lot to look forward to. Kritika Online was a fun MMO. Well, okay, it was a fun MMO for a period of time. Then it became a repetitious grind of the same instances, which led to it abruptly dying. It was shut down, and then it relaunched shortly after shutting down as Kritika Reboot, the same game with Reboot affixed to the end. Creative geniuses, I know. Evidently, it does not take too much to make millions of dollars off of gullible MMO players. Within a month, Reboot was dead, and it was shut down recently. That shutdown was also only temporary, as now it is relaunched for a 3rd time as Kritika Global. And while they didn't change anything between its first and second incarnations, this time they're adding blockchain functionality to it, turning it into a play-to-earn MMO, which will kill interest in the game before it even launches. Now, I've been playing Temtem sporadically for 3 years now. It's always a fun game to come back to, and my adorable little creatures continue to be equally as happy to see me every month I return. 2 years ago, Temtem released into early access after spending a year in alpha, or was it beta testing? I don't know, it was so long ago that I can't recall. After 4 years of development, however, the game is finally fully launching on September 6th, meaning the game is 100% complete. Pre-orders are already live for interested players, and trust me, if you haven't had the pleasure of playing Temtem, then you are missing out. This is the closest thing that we'll get to a Pokemon MMO, and admittedly, it improves on certain aspects of Pokemon that Game Freak should have addressed many years ago. For the 7 of you that still actively play Elyon, I genuinely feel bad for you. You'll be happy to learn that as of the end of May, Kakao released the new Paladin class. The Paladin is both a tank and a support class, interestingly enough. Along with the release of the Paladin are a slew of new events, login rewards, things to attempt to trick people into playing a few minutes more. And then came the news that Elyon is releasing into Southeast Asia, with PlayPark as its publisher, to the misfortune of the Southeast Asian community of players. But hey, you guys have wanted the opportunity to play this mess of a game, so here you are. Now, I know Nexon aren't typically known for making high-quality MMOs, and admittedly this time is really no different. Earlier last week, Nexon revealed their latest MMO, Wars of Prasia, an upcoming action MMO launching completely cross-platform between PC and mobile platforms. Wait, why is it so quiet all of a sudden? Oh, you all skipped to the next game segment, right? It's entirely understandable. Why would you want to hear about a cross-platform Nexon MMO, right? I guess I'll just, I don't know, I'll just talk to myself for a moment then. So, Wars of Prasia is a siege-based MMO with a focus on well, siege-based PvP, with sieges lasting upwards of 24 hours on average. So, you know, for those of you that are still here, I hope you bring some sodas, maybe a couple bags of Doritos, maybe a diaper so you don't need to take a break for the toilet. And yeah, this is actually the final month to log in and play TERA. Gameforge confirmed that after more than a decade online, one of the greatest action MMOs of the 2010s is shutting down on PC. Gameforge elaborated on the reasoning behind this shutdown. Bluehole, the developers, have pretty much given up on it and forced Gameforge to cease publishing the game. Gameforge had no choice but to acquiesce to their request, unfortunately. So, if you want one last ride through the game, now's your chance. This will be the last time that we discuss both Blade & Soul and TERA in the same news video, which is honestly a depressing thought, given I've been doing these videos for years and have been including both games in them for just as long. On topic though, Blade & Soul just rolled out their Cursed Legacy update, bringing with it the brand new Namdo Shrine Dungeon, the Summer Treasure Trove, Hansel's Workshop, and a plethora of different events. Included was new gear and new options to waste more money on, because the only players left playing are the ones that have invested too much money into the game to really stop playing now. In news that I cannot help but laugh at, Legends of Aria is delisting itself from Steam at the end of June as it relaunches as a crypto-based play-to-earn MMO. You know, the route that every single failed MMO seems to take for whatever reason, after they realize that their game is absolute trash and nobody wants to invest any time into playing it. Speaking of MMOs going play-to-earn though, do you remember Riders of Icarus? It was a unique creature collection MMO that was published by Nexon a few years ago. It looked great, it played alright, but was ultimately kind of crap, as everyone quickly came to realize. Nexon have given rights over to Valve, who recently announced that they were going play to earn because that's what players wanted. That's the obvious next natural stage of progression that the community were so eagerly anticipating. That was sarcasm, by the way. Kuni Cross Worlds launched cross-platform onto both PC and mobile platforms very recently, and it saw quite the reception, both positive and negative. Cross Worlds absolutely broke records for the intellectual property, with many players claiming that the game was an unbelievably fun experience. And if you disregard the autoplay, it wasn't actually a bad mobile game. It was an atrocious PC experience, however, for me anyway. Although it was caught up in a lot of drama concerning the official Discord attempting to elicit fake positive reviews from players in return for some sweet rewards, then delisting the official Discord announcement channel to cover it up after I covered how it was illegal and against both Google and Apple's terms of service in a dedicated video. All of this is publicly available in video form for those of you that are looking to follow it in more detail. I did my best to cover everything that happened up until that point, but suffice it to say, it was pretty bad. Aion Classic was a monumental failure filled with pay to win, an experience that nobody expected, even though this was NCSoft that we're talking about. Despite the critically negative reception it received and the poor state current Aion is in, NCSoft have decided that it would be a good idea to continue re-releasing Aion patches, beginning with Aion Classic 2.0. Increasing the level cap to 55, introducing new old zones, everything that came out with 2.0 originally, and they plan on continuing to release each major patch periodically until they catch up to the hated version that we are currently in. Honestly, there's only so much milk you can produce from this game, man. If you thought that ArcheAge was dead, then you know what, you'd be right. Nevertheless, Kakao are continuing to push out content for it in hopes to bring some of you back. In this instance, they're releasing a brand new update titled The Great Prairie of the West. This update is going to introduce multiple new zones, including the city of TERA. They're also introducing a new type of faction-based content in the form of Guardian Scramble. Now, if you recall, faction-based content like this was present back in the Outlands in Old Draenor, but in present-day WoW, it's pretty much completely unused, and I feel like despite their intentions, it won't really make much of an impact here either. Sega have continued to prove to us that they are dedicated to making PSO2 New Genesis a better environment for players, with their most recent update introducing the new snowy region of Kavaris. Accompanying the region are alterations to several classes, fixes for a variety of different quests and fields, items, additions and changes to the UI, an expanded character creator, balancing adjustments of class skills and weapons, a new player cap, and so much more. PSO2 New Genesis may have been quite bare bones when it released initially, but this is honestly a fantastic step in the right direction. Diablo Immortal has been making waves after recently launching on mobile and into open beta on PC. While many players agree that the overall game has been a lot of fun thus far, the general consensus concerning its business model is quite the opposite. It was revealed that to fully equip yourself in legendary gems, you would be required to spend upwards of $110,000 on average, at times more. Having so much of the game, especially competitive content, gated behind such exorbitant paywalls is indicative of the type of game that this is. A game that caters heavily to the largest spenders, with free players falling behind to such a degree that it almost feels pointless continuing to play after finishing the game. Blizz really dropped the ball on this one. The official Tower of Fantasy Twitter revealed earlier today that they were going to be releasing the game in the third quarter of 2022. This is admittedly sooner than players were anticipating, as the third quarter consists of July through September. What this also means is that there will likely be no further beta tests between now and full launch. But this is promising to hear. Within the next 3 months, we'll all be playing Tower of Fantasy together. Many players were hoping Bandai Namco would reveal information concerning Blue Protocol during the first day of the Summer Game Fest on Thursday. Alas, that was not the case. We have the chance that they will during the PC showcase on Sunday though, but unfortunately that's also unlikely. Looking at their recruitment page earlier this week, it turns out another position opened up at the studio, which means that they haven't fully filled their team of programmers yet and are still looking, which means that we're still likely a ways off from being in a complete releasable state. And that is it. That is every bit of MMO related news that mattered to me today. If you think that there's something that I missed, go ahead, let me know down in the comment section below across any type of social media that I am currently active on, and I will attempt to cover it if it's something that I'm interested in. Until then, if you're looking for something to play, then I got you covered, either with this list of free MMOs or this list of upcoming MMOs.